My name is David Ting. I'm a member of High Rock Metro West, and this is my story. God has been pursuing me for a long time, and there's been many events that I've had where it's been clear that God has been with me. I'm going to tell you about a story about a particular story that was impactful for my walk with God. It started when I was a medical student. I was had to go to a hospital that was not close, and so I needed a car, but I didn't have a car. But I had a good friend named Brent Ponce who at that time was going to Park Street Church with us, and he had a family with 2 kids, and I remember him saying, and his wife Sandy saying, well, why don't you just take our car? And his Volvo, station wagon, and it was hard to understand how that was going to change my life, but it really did. But now, as a father of 4 kids, I can't imagine giving away my only car to a complete stranger. And that sort of random act of kindness really impacted me and changed my life forever. Because that same station wagon that I drove to this hospital brought me to a patient we're going to call Mr. H. And Mr. H was one of the first patients I met with a very deadly type of cancer called pancreas cancer. I remember being with my attending and saying, I'm so excited, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is like the greatest medical institution on the planet. What are we going to do? And he told me we weren't going to do anything. And, but we were going to make him comfortable. What I learned during those days with him was that he believed in Jesus and he believed in God, and he was different than other people because he had no fear. He had no fear of pancreas cancer. He had no fear of death. And that shook me. And what I realized during this whole time with him was he didn't need anything from us. He didn't need some miracle, drug that was going to take the pancreas cancer away. It was because he was already saved. He was saved by Jesus and by God. And he, whether or not he understood it or not, he changed me. If you fast forward today, where am I today? I'm an oncologist and I see cancer patients. I see them in the hospital still, but I also run a large research enterprise focused on GI cancer, so in particular pancreas cancer and colorectal cancer and liver cancer. And I think that for me, this patient, Mr. H, really sort of inspired me to pursue this cancer research. They were things that I felt like were in my control. I had always done well in school. I'd gone to the top schools. I'd gone to the top medical school, and I was in control of my destiny, or so I thought. And I think many of us think we're invincible at that age, and I certainly thought I was. But seeing someone like that and seeing someone who was facing something so terrible in my mind, he just wasn't afraid. This part of this story, for me, it was, the Ponce station wagon and this patient who was just silently strong facing death was the thing that saved me and made me pursue God.